What's going on, people? This is supposed to be my UFC fight review video for UFC 169. However, I'll keep it real with you. I did my picks, I did my preview video, posted that to YouTube and everything else, and then I headed out with the intention of going to watch the fights. But you know what? UFC is not what it used to be, and I'm thinking that I'm starting to be, UFC is starting to be a victim of its own success. Many moons ago, you could have gone to, you could go to any local sports bar that might show it, and you might find a handful of people that were interested, and that was that. But now it's become such a big thing that, like, you can go anywhere, and like, fans are all over the place watching the UFC. Well, long story short, I got to my local Hooters we're here in Fort Worth with the intention of watching it there, and that was a no-go. It was like packed out. There was no room for just for me, and I'm just going on my own. I don't have any mates that I'm hanging out with to watch it. It was just going to be me, and it was totally packed out. Then I thought, well, I'll go to another local Hooters, which is closer to the Hewlin area. If you're in Fort Worth, you know what I'm talking about. So I thought I'd go down there. I went down to that Hooters, and there was some kind of an accident or something. So there were police everywhere, flashing lights everywhere, fire trucks, ambulances, everything was crazy. So that was also a no-go due to whatever had transpired. So I then looked at my GPS and wondered about, a work colleague who had given me the pass and said, look, if I want to, I can come by his place and watch a fight. But I was thinking, do I really want to drive 50 miles one way to go and watch a fight and then drive 50 miles later on that night to come home, 100-mile round trip to watch a UFC fight on TV? And I opted not to. I was already tired. I'm already tired right now. So I just thought, nah. So I was thinking, what can I do? What can I do? What could I do? And I ended up going to the movie theatre and I watched The Lone Survivor. Okay. Now, I do movies a lot on my own. I do a lot of stuff out here on my own because though I'm starting to meet a couple of people, get some cool friends from work and stuff, for the most part, I live in Fort Worth, just on my own, and sometimes it's even cool doing stuff on your own because you get to take it in better. Sometimes when you're around friends and family and stuff, you don't always take in all the details. So, I watched this movie, and boy, was I really, really happy to watch the movie. It was a very, very moving movie. I'll tell you right now, I don't count this as a spoiler alert because this is a true story. It was a book written by Marcus Luttrell. It's a story that anyone who pays attention to current affairs is aware of. A Marine, Marcus Luttrell, was part of a team that had to go into Afghanistan to do a particular mission. These guys were, they were caught on enemy ground, and their radio went down, so they weren't able to give their position and strategize a safe means of escape. So one thing led to another, and they were in a very, very crazy predicament where they'd come across some shepherds, essentially, an old man, a young man who, a young teenage-looking guy, and then a little kid. And the option was kill them, set them free, or tie them up and try and make, and the Marines could try and make their escape. They opted to do what was deemed the right thing, as these guys are not quote-unquote enemies. They're not combatants. They weren't like fighting them or anything, so they let these guys go. And the second they let them go, the kids went out and informed the Taliban that there were some Marines hiding in the hills, and the Taliban surrounded that whole area. And as you can imagine, gunfights ensued. A whole bunch of stuff happened. It was really, really, it was a crazy, crazy scene. So from there, unfortunately, one by one, this team of four Marines, they all started to drop one by one. You know, they were getting killed, and they went through a whole, oh my gosh, I mean, a whole range of stuff. It was a really, really tough story to watch, to be quite honest. And good news, obviously, is that Marcus Luttrell did make it out, and he then wrote this book in honour of all his fallen brothers. You know, it was a really exciting movie, very emotional movie actually. At certain points, I kind of like, you know, almost teared up, which is you know, not something that you'd associate with an action movie essentially, but you know, because you know it's true, and you know what these guys are going through. You know, it really did hit home for me. I want to take this opportunity. I don't want to get all cheesy or corny or anything, but I do want to take this opportunity to big up all my American mates, UK mates, everyone actually that serves in the military, especially my boy Stephen Clarkson, who was in the army. Also, my homeboy, my current work colleague and friend Stephen, who is in the Marines, and my former work colleague Suzanne Bettis, who's also a Marine. And in fact, it was Suzanne Bettis that got me hip to this story in the first place. You know, when I met her a few years ago when we used to work together at a gas company, she told me some stories about what she did in the Marines and everything else. And then from there, she told me some stuff about Marcus Luttrell because she actually knew him and served with him. And she told me some stuff about that particular mission, which prompted me to buy the book. I read the book, but after watching this movie, I definitely want to read it again because, at the time, I do remember I was reading that and like 2 or 3 other books, which is not always a good idea because you don't get a good grasp of everything that's going on. So, I'm happy to go back and read that book again, but I definitely want to shout out all my friends who served in the military, all of them. I've got a good friend, Alan Clark. He's another one of my current work colleagues. Ron Hudson. He was in the Air Force. You know, everybody. You know, even the reserves, even the guys and girls that don't leave, you know, home soil. Annette Gibbs. She serves in the Navy, I believe, in the Navy Reserves. And, it's real dedication what these guys are doing. It's totally, even though war is a horrible thing and ideally it would be great if none of us even signed up and none of us ever pulled the trigger on anybody else. That way, you know, the presidents and leaders of these various nations can like sort out their problems another way other than just bombing each other. But the truth is that that's just my utopia view. Sometimes if war has to happen, you know, it takes extremely brave men and women to do it and to get involved. And, when you watch this movie, it really does open your eyes to a couple of things. And I'm very, very grateful to all the guys and girls who've served, you know, really am. And also to all the people who've lost their lives, both on whichever side, because a life is a life at the end of the day, you know. One thing I liked about this movie, about the Lone Survivor, and I'd recommend it to anybody actually, is I love the fact that, you know, it also highlighted that, you know, Afghanistan, you know, or people of an Afghanistan family, Afghanistani family, actually helped save Marcus Luttrell. And, those are the kind of things that people forget. You know, I think that a lot of the time Hollywood and, you know, the media tries to paint this very black and white story. We're good, you know, we being the West are good and anyone who's from that side is bad. But it was really beautiful to see that, you know, there was a wonderful man who didn't do it because he was trying to get citizenship to America or didn't do it because he was trying to earn some money or anything like that. He was doing it purely because of his code of honor of trying to help another individual, you know, and keep that individual from harm. And essentially, that guy and his various village members actually helped save Marcus Luttrell, you know, until the Marines came and got him out of there. So, you know, the movie Lone Survivor, absolutely awesome. If you get a chance to read the book and watch the movie, please do so. Really, really cool. In regards to the UFC, don't worry about it, mate. I'm going to be watching the fights in just a few moments because I couldn't catch them anywhere else. I'm going to have to bite the bullet. Me, my landlord, and my roommate, we've had a quick discussion, and we're probably going to, you know, buy the fight in a second, and then I'll just watch the repeats. So once I've watched the repeats, watched the fights, I will then do a fight review, probably in the morning now because it's just gone midnight, and I need some rest. So I'll speak to you guys in a little bit. Take care of yourselves, and thanks for watching.